Meet the Ford Mustang Mach 1, the latest limited edition Mustang to arrive in Australia. But this one has a controversial story behind it. Is it worth the hype? Let's find out. The Mach 1 follows previous limited editions such as the Bullet and supercharged R-Spec. Priced from $83,365 plus on-road costs for the 6-speed manual or the 10-speed automatic, it's about $20,000 more than the Mustang GT on which it's based. In the US, the Mach 1 slots between the GT and the track-focused Shelby GT 350 and GT 500, which we don't get here. In Australia, the Mach 1 is in some regards a consolation prize for missing out on the Shelby models. We now finally have a Mustang that doesn't run out of puff and go into limp mode after a lap or two around a racetrack. Indeed, had Ford done a better job of helping the Mustang keep its cool in the heat of the moment, we may have seen it used as a highway patrol car on Australian roads. And so, here we are, with likely one of the last limited editions of the current generation Mustang before the next model turns up within a couple of years from now. The Mach 1 is more than a sticker pack. It has extra cooling for the engine, gearbox and differential, aerodynamic aids under the front and rear of the car, functional brake ducts to improve cooling on track days, recalibrated power steering, lower front springs, and stiffer front and rear sway bars. The Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres are on wider rims, 9.5 inch on the front and 10 inch on the rear, to help the tyre handle higher lateral loads and create a flatter contact patch. The 6-speed manual has closer ratios, with final drive in 5th instead of 4th gear, and it's backed by a twin-plate clutch. The automatic has a heavy-duty torque converter and a better shift calibration. The 6-piston front calipers and 380mm front discs are the same on the GT, but backed by a bigger brake booster. The rear subframe is from the Shelby GT 350, as is the open air filter, which combined with a larger throttle body, delivers a handful of extra kilowatts and a bit of extra noise. The Mach 1 has the same peak power as the Bullet, 345 kilowatts rather than 339 kilowatts in the Mustang GT. Torque is unchanged from 556 Newton meters. Recaro Sport seats add $3,000 and 4 of the 5 colours, black, orange, grey and blue, cost $650. White paint is a no-cost option. A bimodal exhaust means you can switch from stealth mode to noise complaint at the press of a button. Listen to that sound! Oh yeah! On the surface, all these parts might not seem like much, and they're mostly hidden from view, but they're the secret sauce that takes the Mustang to the next level. The suspension doesn't have as much flutter over bumps, it's much better controlled. The steering is more intuitive and it really holds on in corners. This is a really special car. It feels like it has effortless reserves of power. Are all these bits worth the $20,000 price premium? So far, 600 buyers seem to think so. As this video was published, there were only 100 Mach 1s remaining in dealer stock. Which brings us to the controversy. For the full story on the Mach 1 mix-up, read our review on drive.com.au for all the details. However, in a nutshell, it went like this. Months before the Mach 1 arrived, Ford Australia incorrectly advertised some features that were in fact not available on examples sold locally. Radar cruise control and rear parking sensors aren't available on the Mach 1 here or overseas because the front and rear bumpers are unique. And the Mach 1 sold in Australia misses out on the hardcore track-focused Torsen differential. Local buyers rightly blew up deluxe over these missing features, but Ford made good by refunding deposits or the purchase price of the car, and offered all 700 buyers free servicing for 3 years and an exclusive track day experience. Some buyers were still not happy with Ford's reparations, and as this video was put together, Ford was still putting out the fire. I can understand why Ford fans are upset how the whole Mustang Mach 1 rollout was handled, but this is still a great car. So, with the controversy acknowledged, let's put that aside and assess the Mach 1 for what it is, as it is. Testing the Mach 1 on a racetrack, albeit in cool night air, both automatic and manual versions didn't skip a beat or overheat. Indeed, the Mach 1 has more additional cooling than the locally developed supercharged R-Spec. The limited slip differential had plenty of hookup in tight turns. This might be a big call, but the Mach 1 felt fast enough and grippy enough, even without the Torsen diff. On the track, the Mach 1 felt more planted than the standard GT. On the road, it's surprisingly comfortable. Magnetically controlled dampers, optional on the Mustang GT, are standard on the Mach 1 and deliver new levels of refinement. So is the Mach 1 the real deal, or did Australia get a watered-down version? Only customers can decide whether the price is delusional or good value, but the car itself is pretty special. Confession: I thought this car was a sticker pack. How wrong I was. With the Mach 1, Ford has taken the Mustang to finishing school. The upgrades are subtle, but combined, they add up to a truly special vehicle. Performance times are tricky in rear-wheel drive cars, especially ones with this much grunt. The best we could get, 0 to 100, was 4.8 seconds. We know other media outlets have managed to squeeze a 4.5 or 4.6 0 to 100 time. But the conditions today just weren't quite right. The tyres were a bit worse for wear from doing the track day, and the road temperature was a bit cool, so it didn't hook up quite as well as we would have liked. I love the balance of this car in corners now. I love the steering feel. While the changes are most obvious on a racetrack, you can still feel the subtle improvements on real roads. Good points? The Mach 1 is the most complete Mustang ever sold in Australia to date. It's got all the go-fast bits that we should have had in the first place. I love the power, I love the sound, and I love the grip. This is a truly special car. Downsides? Some of the missing equipment is a bit annoying. The price is sky high, almost $20,000 more than a Mustang GT. And I wish there was a more consistent way to get the Mach 1 to hook up in a 0 to 100 run. Overall, I'm liking the Mach 1 a lot more than I thought I would. Maybe it was because I had low expectations, but there's no doubt Ford has made genuine and worthwhile upgrades to this car. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a road to find. Be sure to hit like or give us the thumbs up if you like this video, and hit subscribe so you don't miss any future updates. To read the full review on the Mustang Mach 1, go to caradvice.com.au.